Although it has nothing to do with the rest of the video, I would just like to point out that my mug has a duck riding a pig, a farmer riding a pig backwards, a duck, and a pig. I started playing guitar when I was 16, and I've been playing pretty much ever since. And as soon as I started writing songs, which would have been in about 2009, they've always almost been fingerstyle songs. I don't do that much strumming for songs that I write. Since pretty much everyone learns how to strum on a guitar before they start fingerpicking, a lot of people have asked me, like, how do I start? Where do I get started if I want to start learning fingerstyle songs? So that's what this video is about. Start with Iron and Wine. If you go back to his first couple albums, there are a few songs that I'm going to demo real quick here that are great to learn on because they don't jump in too deep and they stay within some stuff that's really important to learn early. The first song that I suggest is called Faded from the Winter. That's all I really need to demo because that's pretty much the whole song. It does that over and over. It starts off with a picking that's really important to learn, which is thumb, pointer, thumb, middle. It just does that over and over and over. Thumb, pointer, thumb, middle, thumb, pointer, thumb, middle. For the whole song. And the left hand stays in the same position and it just slides down and then it starts over and down and down. So that's a really good one to start with. I wish I had started with that one. From there's actually a lot of other good Iron and Wine songs that continue the slow progression of learning different things. So once you can do that, you can switch to something that keeps the same kind of picking, but now gets a little bit more complicated with the left hand. Something like the song Lion's Mane. So you get that one. It's pretty much the same finger picking pattern, and then you just do a little bit more with the left hand, the logical next step. The next Iron and Wine song that I would suggest learning after those two is Naked as We Came. This one uses a similar picking pattern, but it makes it move around a little bit. So you're not always on the same strings, even though your fingers are doing the same thing. So that's kind of the two main sections that alternates between those. And those are pretty straightforward to get. It's just one step more complicated. So the nice thing about the songs I've talked about so far is they use pretty standard chord shapes. The next step is moving to songs that use less standard chord shapes. This one also uses a little bit different picking pattern on the right hand, but it's not terribly complicated because it's not going too quickly. This one is called Cinder and Smoke. That's pretty much it. It does that pretty much the whole time. There's maybe a couple changes throughout. But as you can see, there's a couple different shapes on this side. There's a hammer on, and you're doing a little bit different shape with the right hand. So moving away from traditional picking patterns and kind of staying in one place on the neck, you can move to songs like Blackbird by the Beatles. So that one gets a little bit harder and there's some harder parts in the song, but it's a fun one to work on and progress with. One that has more of a bit of a classical guitar feel to it is Cuando Los Ángeles Lloran by Maná. Or if you really want to go for it, you can learn the intro to Crazy on You by Heart. You can go back to Iron and Wine at a certain point and start learning some of his songs like Boy with a Coin. If you want to progress your playing with speed and kind of funky little accents, I would suggest learning some songs by the tallest man on earth. Here are a few examples. So in conclusion, I would suggest that you start with Iron and Wine with those few songs that I suggested, and then kind of progress outward from there. Find songs that you really want to learn how to play, and sometimes you'll realize that they're incredibly, incredibly difficult, and keep them in mind, come back later. I know one of the songs that I played for you today, Troubles Will Be Gone by Tallest Man on Earth, I tried to learn that for about 3 weeks, and I would play for like an hour, and I would get no closer to getting it. And then all of a sudden one day I sat down and it all came together, and now I can pretty much play it. So keep plugging away at it. It's really fun to learn, and write more fingerstyle songs because they're awesome. I'll see you tomorrow.